Baku speaking. Hello dear listeners, you are tuned into Azerbaijan International Radio. We are starting our English broadcast from the capital Baku. We welcome you to our analytic program. I'm your host Elçin Mirzayev. President İlham Aliyev's participation in the European Political Community Summit is yet another demonstration of our country's growing international prestige. The President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, made a working visit to Tirana to attend the 6th Summit of the European Political Community at the invitation of the Prime Minister of the Republic of Albania, Edi Rama, and the President of the European Council, Antonio Costa. Azerbaijan's participation in the European Political Community Summit in Albania is undoubtedly another success of our country's multifaceted and balanced foreign policy. This participation once again highlights Azerbaijan's commitment to dialogue and cooperation on the European continent and its proactive stance in international initiatives. It should be noted that since the first meeting in Prague in 2022, Azerbaijan has actively participated in all European political community summits. This demonstrates Azerbaijan's interest in being an active party in new platforms for mutual political action and regional integration. The European Political Community Summit held in Prague is a vivid example of President İlham Aliyev's far-sighted foreign policy and became a turning point in Azerbaijan's diplomatic struggle for sovereignty and territorial integrity. The Prague Summit in October 2022, being first a meeting within the framework of the European political community, turned into an important event that strengthened Azerbaijan's international position. At the summit, President İlham Aliyev skillfully neutralized the diplomatic traps that Armenia, France, and the European Union tried to set against Azerbaijan. As a result of his determined and consistent stance, the leaders of Armenia and France were forced to recognize Azerbaijan's territorial integrity. This was not a random outcome, but rather the result of a multi-step strategic combination orchestrated by President İlham Aliyev on the diplomatic stage. President İlham Aliyev's participation in the European Political Community Summit is yet another demonstration of the continuous success of our country's foreign policy and its growing international influence. Under President İlham Aliyev's leadership, Azerbaijan has successfully pursued a multi-vector foreign policy in recent years, achieving successful diplomatic engagement in both eastern and western directions. All these achievements are the result of President İlham Aliyev's flexible, far-sighted foreign policy based on national interests. Azerbaijan is recognized on the international stage as a country with a strong political will and solid diplomatic foundations. Zangezur Corridor, a bridge for ensuring dynamic economic development and sustainable peace. The new geopolitical configuration that emerged after the Second Karabakh War provided a solid foundation for Azerbaijan's strategic initiatives. In this new historical context, the idea of the Zangezur Corridor was redefined, and its implementation now plays a key role not only for Baku and Ankara, but also for the entire South Caucasus and the broader geographical zone around it, including Central Asia, the Middle East and Europe, in terms of transforming economic relations. For Azerbaijan, the Zangezur Corridor project is of the fundamental importance in terms of developing transportation infrastructure and ensuring a physical connection between the country's main territory and the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic. The opening of this corridor will also create new opportunities for integrating the Turkic world into a unified logistics system, providing Central Asian countries with faster and safer access to European markets, reducing their dependence on alternative routes like Russia and Iran. Additionally, the contribution of the Zangezur Corridor to regional stability and security should be emphasized. The intensification of political dialogue and economic cooperation enhances the mutual trust and helps to ease existing tensions. In this context, the corridor should be a subject of discussion at the level of governments, interparliamentary relations, and among the scientific community, experts, and media institutions. Its successful implementation also requires public and political consensus. Zangezur Corridor shouldn't only be evaluated within the framework of the interests of Azerbaijan and its strategic partner Turkey. This project also promises long-term stability and economic revival for Armenia. If the Armenian leadership can calmly analyze the new realities and adequately assess the changing balance of power in the region, it will have the opportunity to adopt a constructive approach to the Zangezur corridor, break out of geopolitical isolation, and become an active participant in transportation and logistics flows. It should be noted that the trilateral statement signed on November 10, 2020, not only aimed to cease military operations and establish a new security configuration in the region, but also provided for the restoration of communication links in the South Caucasus and the region's economic integration. According to the document, Armenia agreed to ensure transport communication between Azerbaijan and Nakhchivan. In practical terms, this agreement provides the political basis for the realization of the Zangezur corridor. President Ilham Aliyev has repeatedly stated that the Zangezur corridor is not only of strategic importance for Azerbaijan, but also for the region and, in a broader sense, for Eurasia. The project has the potential to become an integral part of the Trans-Caspian international transport route stretching between China and Europe. It's also worth mentioning that the significance of the Zangezur corridor is not limited to economic indicators. This project is of great importance in terms of maintaining peace and stability in the region. Dear listeners, that concludes our program for this hour.